mga kaano dyan, mga ka-Facebookers. Yan, mga kameta, sabaw na tayo. Kanina umaga pa tayo nandito sa mga interviews natin. Ako, 6 a.m. pa lang, gising na tayo kanina dun sa isang BBC interview natin. Di pa sinend sa akin yung mga footages and all, kaya hindi natin na-post. And then of course mga kameta, ayan, tuloy-tuloy na buong araw. Pumunta pa tayo sa Alabang, nag-talk pa tayo. Tapos kanina ulit, mga back-to-back interviews. So, in many ways, I'm trying to keep abreast, no, dun sa pagbisita ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. Dun sa Amerika, at anong ambag ng pagbisita niya sa Amerika. Some of the good news that we got from the visit is actually nagkaroon ng some good agreements between business groups in the Philippines and the United States. One of the things that got me interested, mga kametes, was this MOU signed between Ayala Groups and yung isang e-motorcycle, electric motorcycle producer sa California. So I'm looking forward to seeing more of those kinds of project, mga kameta. Itong mga proyekto kung saan nagmamanufacture tayo. So kudos to Ayala, Jaza in particular, for going all the way there and making sure that the Philippines makes itself felt when it comes to production of manufacturing goods, particularly electric vehicles. No, electric motorcycle. I hope to see more production also of electric vehicles. So I'm glad. I was glad to see that there was a picture of President Marcos Jr. there, and then si Jaza, and yung American counterpart, and then yung DTI Secretary natin si Fred Pascual. I'm happy about that. I'm glad to see that, mga kameta. I very much appreciate that. That was good. I hope to see more of that. So we're waiting for more details, mga kameta, pagdating dun sa mga business deals na sign ng ating Pangulo at ating mga big business groups at businessman na kasama ni Marcos Jr. So mukhang this trip was a lot about investments and economics, which brings me really to the crux of the discussion, because obviously ang expectation ng marami is that yung issue ng EDCA, yung defense cooperation natin with America, yung Taiwan, yung South China Sea, yung maging malaking issue. Pero kitang-kita natin na once again si Marcos Jr. sinisigurado niya na hindi niya i-provoke yung China. Once again, sinisigurado niya na yung kanyang relasyon sa China ay hindi completely compromised. So in the context of that, mga kameta, nakita natin that President Marcos Jr. immediately upon landing in Washington, D.C., in one of his first interviews that he made, he, right off the bat, nagsimula siya doon sa issue ng trade and investment. Trade and investment. Parati niya sinasabi, trade and investment. And then nung tinanong siya about the West Philippine Sea, the EDCA issue, napaka-vague yung sinabi niya. Parang, ay, medyo magulo ang usapan sa mundo, so dapat may mga gagawin tayo para ready tayo sa magulong usapan sa mundo. Parang ganyan yung sagot niya. So you could see that President Marcos Jr. is still a little bit hesitant, a little bit wishy-washy, a little bit non-committal dito sa EDCA. At ang basa ko talaga dito is because Marcos Jr. doesn't want the end-all, be-all of our relationship with the United States to be about EDCA, about security cooperation, and he doesn't want to burn bridges with China. Very clear yan. So I think he's making it absolutely, I mean, he's signaling to China and to many people, including the Philippines, Tatay Digong, I mean, Marcos, whoever, who's not 100% with the EDCA issue, he's signaling to them that don't worry, hindi ako tatalon sa American camp against China. I'm not here in the business of provocation. I'm here in the business of preparation. I'm here in the business of deterrence. No, very interesting yan. Now, kung tinignan mo yung meeting niya with Biden, Biden said the usual things, the ironclad commitment, the alliance is there, may mga chummy chums pa siya na sinabi niya, si Marcos Jr., I couldn't ask for a better ally than you. So yon, talagang respeto sa ating sa Pilipinas. Remember guys, when you hear good statements from Biden to Marcos Jr., it's not to Marcos Jr. per se, it's to the President of the Republic of the Philippines, because there's a recognition that mga kameta, the Philippines is increasingly important to the United States, and they have to accord our leaders the same level of respect that they're according to the leaders of Japan, to the leaders of Korea, among others. My sense though is if you look at the yung joint statement na lumabas, there are broad agreements on the need for helping the Philippine AFP modernization. That's good. There's also, mga kameta, a lot of emphasis on making sure that defense and security cooperation will be as mutually respectful and mutually beneficial as possible. I like that. What I found also interesting dito sa pagbisita ni Marcos Jr. sa US is that actually it's still very poor on details. The devil is in the details and the details are very poor when it comes to yung EDCA. Hanggang ngayon mga kameta, hindi pa rin natin alam a number of things. Unang-una, ilan yung mga American troops na papasok dito sa mga EDCA sites? Pangalawa, anong mga klaseng mga weapon systems na pwede nila ilagay dyan? Artilleries are different from, let's say, Patriot missile systems. Anong mga aircrafts? Anong mga vessels? So it looks like Marcos Jr. is not 100% into all this, let's team up with US, let's go against China. Mukhang hindi siya nandyan. And hanggang ngayon, it looks like they're really negotiating very carefully ano yung magiging parameters ng ating bilateral security cooperation. Nag-usap rin tayo kanina, may interview tayo with a good from Washington DC, nag-usap kami. And one of the things that also comes out is the reassurance that pagdating sa EDCA, it's very flexible. In fact, on a yearly basis, mga kameta, pwede natin ma-negotiate itong parameters ng EDCA para hindi ito magka-compromise ng ating sovereignty or maging provocative. Kaya sabi ko mga kameta, the fundamental challenge here for the Philippines and the fundamental concern for Marcos Jr., accordingly, is to make sure we get a Goldilocks level of security cooperation with the traditional allies. Meaning, the security cooperation is not too much that undermines our sovereignty or provokes China unnecessarily, but at the same time, there should be just enough level of security cooperation. So siguro parang kay Marcos, gusto niya just enough number of American troops sa Philippines to ensure that magdadalawang isip ang China whether sa big-time bullying sa West Philippine Sea or sa big-time invasion of Taiwan. Getting that Goldilocks level, not too hot and not too cold, that will be very difficult and it will have to be constantly tweaked and twisted and adjusted with the needs of the time and depending dun sa gagawin ng China sa West Philippine Sea, sa Taiwan, depende dun sa situation sa loob ng Taiwan, what kind of leaders they want. But para sa akin talaga mga kameta, mahalaga talaga itong issue ng AFP modernization. We have to make sure that there's enough in the EDCA in our bilateral alliance to really expedite our access to the best weapon systems possible. But at the same time, ang Pilipinas, we also have to do our own assignment. Namely, developing the institutions that allows us to maintain, to operate, and to progressively move up the value chain when it comes to operating sophisticated weapon systems. Kasi nakita natin, recently, kasi ganito, kukuha ka ng advanced weapon systems, howitzers, I don't know, or fighter jets, and nagagamitin mo lang pala yan sa mga NPA, mga ganyan level. Ay, sayang naman, di ba? Dapat gamitin mo talaga yan for external security, right? So it's very important that we build also the necessary institutions for that. So, ewan ko, I mean, my sense talaga here is, hindi pa tapos ang lahat. Marami pa rin hedging nang nangyayari. Marami pa rin mga dribble ang mangyayari. Now, so on one hand, if EDCA is pushed to its logical limit, in 4 to 5 years, makikita mo, there'll be a lot of American aircrafts and a lot of American vessels in different sites across the Philippines. In fact, there's an indication that EDCA could be even expanded, even more American presence across the country. And that you can see more joint patrols between Filipino vessels and American vessels or even aircrafts doing their sa West Philippine Sea areas, etc. That's one way of looking at it. But at the same time, mga kameta, ayan, tara, wala sa oras. One second na, sagutin ko to. Pasaway. Hello? Yes po. Sige, may pwede magtataas niyan. May tao ba? Pwede mag... okay lang. Sige po. Kahit mga in 10 minutes pa. 5 to 10. Thank you. Salamat. Ayan, kameta, kakarating lang yung pagkain natin, ha. Pasensya na. Hindi pa tayo kumain, eh. Grabe. Alam niyo mga kameta. Anyway, no, so what I'm saying mga kameta is, really it's about getting the Goldilocks level. At the same time, leveraging EDCA for maximum, uh, to maximum acceleration of the AFP modernization. But we also have to do our part of assignments. Hindi lang tayo humihingi ng tulong, hindi lang tayo whiny, hindi lang tayo mendicant, no, mendicant foreign policy as Clara and Becca puts it. So we have to do our part of the assignment. let me also say, mga kameta, that it looks that there's enough flexibility in EDCA for us to adjust it on a yearly basis if ever we feel it's too much or too little. Now, the last thing I want to say also, mga kameta, is if you look at EDCA, some of the bases that are being established across the country, particularly in northern areas, particularly in Cagayan, those ones could actually be used not like, for Taiwan per se, but also those ones could be used for checking the Philippine interest, domain awareness sa Luzon Strait, sa Benham Rise, sa Philippine Sea. Kasi parati natin sinasabi kulang yung mga assets natin, kulang yung mga kakayahan natin. But even if maliit yung kakayahan natin, majority of yan pumupunta dyan sa West Philippine Sea. Sobrang konti yung mga kakayahan natin to even know what on earth is happening sa Luzon Strait where a lot of Chinese submarines are passing by, a lot of Chinese exercises happening. Also dyan sa Benham Rise na napakalaking area, at napakadaming resources, meron tayong extended continental shelf, etc. So our hope, mga kameta, is to leverage itong mga new sites, new cooperation to also give the Philippines more ability to monitor what's happening in their own waters in other parts of the country. Kasi puro lang tayong focus, mga kameta, dito sa West Philippine Sea. But we also have to focus on what's happening in Benham Rise. We also have to focus, mga kameta, what's happening dun sa Luzon Strait, among others. Alright? Okay, thank you very much, mga kameta. Kain na ako, late na to eh. But that's it. It is what it's. Sobrang busy kaya. Pero sabi ko, mahal ko na talaga kayo. Mahal na mahal ko kayo. Kaya humabol pa rin ako dito sa ating, ano, ayan. Hindi naman. Wala na tayong time na bardagulan. Yung isang, yung mga isang troll na naman na walang yung mga vloggers na yung kagabi. Tag ng tag, tulungan ko ng mga to. Busy na ako masyado para patulan mga to. Natawa ako nung isa sa niya, bakit pinost mo lang yung picture ko? Eh di sana nilagay mo yung link sa video ko. Ayan, okay. Dahil nga sa akin, may mga pumunta nga sa, sa YouTube mo. Para naman hindi, baka nilalangaw na. Pagbigyan natin mga kameta, pagbigyan natin. Oh, kawawa naman, hindi na sila nasa Malacanang. Ex-vlogger. Ex-Malacanang vlog. Anyway, mamaya na tayo magbardagul. I hope you guys appreciate the kind of overview that binigay namin dito. At saka, yeah, wala na tayong time dun sa mga, yung mga trashiness na yan. Natatawa na nga tayo eh. Ito yung mga tao na walang relevant publication research sa life tapos gusto pa makipag-trash talk sa akin. Ay nako. Di ba? Tapos namin nag-trigger dun sa picture natin, isa ha. Doon naka-pink tayo, tapos naka-picture na gano'n. Tapos yung mukha pala, nakakasar na tayo. So, thank you very much. Mga naka 5,000 likes na ba tayo dyan? I appreciate that. I posted that just in a moment of levity. No? And anyways, guys, as you know, eye on the ball, focus lang tayo sa analysis natin. Once in a while, konting bardagulan, just for fun. I mean, come on, let's be honest. It's a bit fun once in a while, no? To put these people in their right place. But at the same time, to also clarify, kasi marami unfortunately sa ating mga kababayan, wala silang exposure to others, nandun lang sila sa echo chamber, nandun lang sila dun sa mga trashy vloggers na ikinig. So wala silang sapat na pag-intindi, no, dun sa complexity of issues. Puro silang mga kung ano mga kabastusan sinasabi mga katulad sa mga katulad natin na at may nagawa sa buhay, may alam sa buhay, etc. So it's okay. We reach out to those people. They could see naman what's happening here. And thank you so much, mga kameta, for being very supportive. Kitang-kita talaga natin sa mga comment sections pa lang eh. Kawawa yung mga trolls talaga sa atin. So I really appreciate that. As I say, be kind, be helpful, be generous, but from position of strength. Always make sure you send the right signal to the other side. If you want peace, prepare for war. The same thing. Pagdating sa mga trolls, pagdating sa mga walang yung ano na yan, they have to know they're not dealing with softy, no. No problem at all. All right? Thank you very much, mga kameta, and talk to you soon. Pleasure. Oo nga pala, thank you dito also dun sa mga nakinig sa atin. Thank you as always to Ma'am Jocelyn Lumber. Super thank you sa mga suporta mo. Thank you kay, ayan na yung food natin, Just Your Average Joe, kay Oms, thank you kay Lem. Thank you so much guys. Talk to you soon. Alright?